Hello and welcome back to the latest episode of my Love Machine podcast. Now today I've got a fantastic episode for all of you about to go out on a first date. Now you might have done your hair, you might have chosen your outfit, but you're not sure what to do and how to act. So today I'm going to teach you all the secrets about my expert guide to dating style for women. Now guys, there will be some tips for you too, so don't worry, don't switch off just yet. But generally, this is a wonderful coach I've got on board today, who I'd like to introduce you to, called Jo Haley. Now, Jo is a positive image coach, and she works with ladies over 45 to help them reclaim their identity, feel amazing in their body, and to radiate their confidence. And all these things are extremely important for a successful first date. So, Jo, welcome.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here.
It is great to have you here. I know you've got so much to share and so much knowledge on this really, really important topic because people get confused about what they need to do and what they need to wear on a first date. So first of all, can you tell me about yourself and what got you into this and what exactly you do?
Gosh, lots of questions. Absolutely. So I am the positive image coach, as you've clearly said. So what I basically do is I work with women to really help them to understand what their body shape is so that when they're going out to buy the clothes or getting dressed, they absolutely look and feel their best. Because the funny thing is, we actually don't know what our body shape is. And I'm not one for fashion, because that's not what it's about. And the reason for that is because how can the fashion world say to you, you can have one shirt that works for every single woman, every shape, size, whatever you must have, I don't agree with that. So what I do is I almost educate the lady into, this is your amazing body shape. And it is amazing because we are totally unique. No one's got a body out, like us. We're all individuals. So it's about getting you to learn what your body shape is, and then we wrap it in styles, fabrics, textures, prints, patterns that work for you, that make you feel the best version of yourself.
That's so important that people do that because people do not have a clue about how to become the best version of themselves. And of course, they don't know who they are. And therefore, their confidence is going to be quite low initially. So do you think many women need this service and come to you quite a lot for this?
I think the majority of women do, personally, but I think it's one of those things that still has a bit of, should I say, stigma about it, that people look at it as a luxury service, where I look upon it absolutely as this is a pure investment into yourself, because as women, we are so good at looking in the mirror and just going, oh, that will do. But when you take those three little words on their own, that will do, how does that really make you feel? There's no confidence in that. There's no self-esteem in there. There's very little value in yourself in there. And yet we are worth so much more. So that's why I absolutely do what I do.
That sounds like people need this quite a lot because guys, when it comes to a first date, the way that women and men prepare is quite different. Women will take time to choose their outfit. They will maybe, like before, 2 days before, get the outfit ready. Maybe they will get their hair done in a certain way, even have it styled. Many of my clients get their hair styled before a first date. In fact, some get their hair straightened. And when I was younger, I didn't really realise what that meant. I had girls that would come to me on a date and they say, I'm getting them straightening my hair. And then I cancel it, thinking that what they do is just press a magic button or something, some sort of chemical goes in their hair. It took them hours. Guys don't appreciate this. And then they have to do the makeup and make sure they look the best. And what do guys do? Maybe have a shower and you shave if you're lucky. That's as far as
but do you not think that the modern man now is taking much more care of themselves, grooming wise? The modern man, I think, is much more into their skincare and also much more healthier these days as well.
I agree. This is thanks to Instagram, partly. People have an Instagram generation. Those under 30 in particular are working out more, having better skincare. Years ago, it was called metrosexuality. That was the phrase. And this is what people call me. They say you're very metro, as I used to use moisturiser. I was just vain. I still use moisturiser. It's important to have moisturiser. It's important to look after yourself and to be the very, very best version of you possible. If you feel good, you're going to act well and you're going to have a good time and more fun.
Definitely.
So, I think a lot of men do, but a lot of men don't, because what happens is you get men who are second time around dating, who have been in a relationship, they've been married, and they find themselves newly single again. And they may come to me and say, James, I want to go and meet people, what do I do? And they've got the same old suits they've had for 20 years in their cupboard. They started wearing jeans again, and they're 5 sizes too small, and they've dug these things out. So no, not all men know what they're doing, which is why there's definitely a need for this service for men and for women. But
Yes.
overall, women do know how to look after themselves better than men, and even then, they are probably more open to being told what to do and having more advice on this. But plenty of guys do too.
It's really different actually how men and women take it really differently. I used to work with men, but I've chosen just to work on, just work with ladies. But it's really different because men like being told what to do, because men will just take it and it's black and white. I can wear this, right, okay, got it. Women, we're very different because we listen to it all and take it all on board emotionally. And it's a very big difference between the two. So men actually are probably a lot easier to work with. But I like all the sort of psychological side of it, how it makes you feel. And so that's why I sort of stick with my female clients.
That's fair enough. I think women have more options as well. There's more clothes available to women than for guys.
Yeah.
Around the different department stores, and there's probably 3 floors for every 1 floor that there's a male wardrobe. I've never really understood that. Maybe that's women are more open. Women tend to wear different things for different days, different moods, different activities. Men will probably wear 2 or 3 outfits over and over again.
Yeah.
But
Interesting. Oh, sorry.
Go for it.
Oh, sorry, I was going to say the interesting that you picked up on mood there, because from a woman's point of view, we absolutely dress our mood. So that, state of mind absolutely matches state of wardrobe. So if you feel a bit depressed, oh my God, we dress that way. And if you feel really happy and really alive, you'll be dressing more upbeat. So it's so interesting how it's all connected.
It is. If you wear something you feel attractive in, you're going to therefore become more attractive and be seen as that. If you're just wearing something that you feel a bit frumpy in, then you're going to act a bit boring and you're protecting yourself almost. I think people have clothing as a shield. One of the biggest problems I see with dating is people have a wall around themselves, protecting them from getting hurt. And therefore they will wear certain clothes as a barrier. And I've seen this all the years of running singles events. Many women will come into a singles event and they have their coats on and they won't remove their coat. Not because they are planning on leaving particularly early, although some of them do, of course, that will happen. But, but they will wear the coats as a barrier. It's protecting them like an invisible force that's coming between them and the guys and having to get rejected or to get hurt. And,
I can appreciate that.
And I always encourage them to take their coats off. I have a no coat policy, which isn't always great in the winter, but it makes them feel better. They don't really understand the reasons why. So tell me, Joe, I think dressing well and making first impressions that count are the most important thing you can do. They're so vital for a successful first date. What are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. But I'd say one thing that people do, which I think makes them sort of, because you can put anyone in an amazing outfit and they can look really good. But if they don't feel, and that's my point, if they don't feel it, then they will look awkward, they'll look uncomfortable. And and you can see that lady if she's dressed that way, because she'll be like tugging at it or pulling at it, whatever she's doing. So, I absolutely believe that you need to dress so that you feel amazing. Don't be told what to wear. And particularly on the first date, yes, of course you want to make that first impression, but if you're, by choosing the clothes that you feel really good in, you're going to feel more yourself, you're going to feel a bit more relaxed, you're going to feel, more you. And that's obviously what you're trying to put out there to whoever you're meeting. So that would be, I say, don't over try, because then you don't feel as confident as you could be.
I think so. I think it's about being comfortable in what you're wearing, but not comfortable as in wearing comfortable clothes, but being comfortable in what you're wearing, so you're happy and you feel more confident about what you're wearing.
Yes.
So what else would you advise someone beyond their clothing to make a good first impression? Because obviously you deal with all sorts of positive image, and that obviously includes mindset as well, doesn't it?
Absolutely. So everything is all connected. Your mind, your body, your skin, it's all connected. And also your body language as well. That's also really key. So like you were touching on earlier about how the woman sort of wraps herself up in her coat still, sort of having that barrier. And it's like, when you're talking to somebody, you don't want to have your arms folded, because that is almost that's almost like your invisible coat. Your arms folded, you're putting that protection around you. So it's about try and relax and be open. and be expression, use expressions and use your arms and your hands. People can't see, can they? But I'm actually sitting here wafting my arms all over the place. But it's just about being open. And so don't have a closed off body language. You want to have an open body language is one of the top tips I'd say as well. Definitely.
You're right. Palms up and maybe on the table, and being animated is very, very important. That's what you're saying, being animated.
Yes.
We don't want people to wave their hands away like they're trying to swat flies, but to demonstrate what's going on and to react to things. Being too static and too rigid, if you are like that, they're going to assume that you're very rigid and very static in your personality. And if you're very animated and you're friendly and you're smiling a lot, they're going to spend more time with you and want to spend more time with you. So that's really, really important.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't think, it's not about, is it? It's not about opening up completely on your first date. Don't give too much away. It's not about that. But you just want to be you. And, and I would say, and don't have too much to drink. You never know what can happen if you have too much to drink.
This is a common topic in my podcast, that people do like to drink too much alcohol when it comes to this. And people use it as a crutch. They use it to make themselves feel more positive. And one or two can have that effect. But beyond that, you start making stupid decisions.
Yeah.
You will say stupid things, you stop caring, you don't care how you look anymore, you become overly flirtatious, or you might end up doing things that you might regret with people that you might regret. So particularly not on a first date. Have one or two drinks and set a time limit to your date as well. I always say that. An hour and a half is plenty for a first date. You want to be a little teaser about who you are and they want to see you again. That's it. It's not to reveal everything that possibly is going. And I'm sure that comes to the clothes as well. Some women wear very, very revealing clothes.
Yeah.
And I've seen this on some of my Zoom calls as well. Some women think it's okay to be very... They put their best assets forward, should we say.
Okay. I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine. But all I'd say is don't show off too much leg as well. You don't want to do both. If you're going to highlight one area, which is what you want to do, you want to highlight the one area of your body that you love. So be it maybe your top half or be it your legs, but do not expose both, because that in lots of cases can look unattractive. And as you say, you're showing too much too soon. And actually, for some gentlemen or women, it can actually be a real turn off.
Yeah. They won't see you in the way that you want them to see you.
Exactly. They will make, you're making judgments, aren't they? Because that's what we do with our, in the world out there, it's a very judgmental world. If it wasn't, then I wouldn't have my job to do. But we do judge people straight away on their appearance. So, and as we've already spoken about, you want that to be the best version of yourself. So don't try and be somebody that you're absolutely not, but be that, the absolutely best version of who you truly are.
You can be you on the best day possible. Don't lie to people, don't exaggerate, but just be you on a really happy day. If you've got a really boring life and nothing's going on and you're just so fed up with it, then that's going to come across. So make sure you've got some great hobbies. Take new hobbies up now. Book some online classes if you have to. Read some more books. Do some new activities. See some new shows on television, whatever it might be. Read some... If men, I always advise reading women's magazines because you're going to be in touch with what they're thinking about. And women,
great idea.
Women read GQ, read Men's Health, see what they're up to, see what's going on. Be in touch with what the other person's doing.
Definitely.
So be the best version of yourself, and if it's not very exciting, then make sure that you're living the best life and find new ways to do that.
Love it.
Good.
I must tell you something, James, about when we were talking about drinking on your first date, or don't drink too much on your first date. I did many years ago, and he was driving. I obviously wasn't, so I had far too much to drink. And when we got back to my place where he wanted to drop me off, I beckoned him inside, shall we say. And then so he sat on the sofa and thinking, what is going on? And I put on the great track by the Spice Girls. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. Proceeded to straddle him and gyrated. Needless to say, he ran out the door pretty quick.
Oh dear.
Exactly.
That's not very advisable.
No, it isn't. But he did become my husband.
So it worked out. There's always an exception. I remember bringing a girl back once and turning the radio on, and you would not believe what song came on the radio. It was "Let's Get It On" by Marvin Gaye. It actually came on the radio when I was playing it. It's an absolutely true story. And I remember this is one of the stories from my Dating Guru's Funny Dating Stories, available on Amazon. And one of these stories was when I was single a long time ago. I had a date with somebody. She was a top model. I'll summarise this very quickly because we're going off topic here, but it's on a first date. And she had me believe that she was an absolute party animal. So I've got a bottle of wine, another bottle of wine. I think it was red wine, if I remember correctly. And I noticed her eyes started glazing over in this bar. And then suddenly she leant over and a tidal wave of vomit came across the table. And she threw
Oh,
all the bottle of wine all over me and on the table.
oh,
And it ended with her crying outside in the rain and me getting her a taxi. Because she
oh
was so
my
embarrassed
God.
with it. So don't drink too much. Don't pretend that you're a big drinker if you're not. Don't
No,
pretend to be someone that you're not. So
definitely.
going back onto topic again,
Yes. Sorry.
let's talk about a successful first date for women. What items, what outfit would you recommend that they wear if they're meeting somebody for the first time? And let's assume it's in a bar.
Oh, that's a really difficult question because you've got to think of everyone has a different style personality. Everyone's got their favorite outfit to wear. So that's a really hard one to call. But I would say if you're a jeans girl, for example, and you live in jeans and you love your jeans, then don't wear a dress. Stick to your jeans, but dress them up. Maybe wear a nice heel with them. If you're a jeans and jacket girl, for example, make it, just up it a bit, use your accessories, use the high heels, have a nice bag. It's always the little things that absolutely make the difference. So if you take your simple jeans and a t-shirt, you can change that outfit by upping and changing your accessories. So if you're always a dress girl, then don't feel you have to go the other way, and don't feel you have to wear jeans or trousers on your first date, because you want to be, it goes back, doesn't it, to really being who you absolutely are and being authentic to your true self, because that's the person that whoever you're meeting, that's who they want to see. They want to see you as you, and don't try and pretend to be. And I think if we do sort of go down the route of when we first meet someone and we're sort of try and be or overly polite or overly prim and proper, and it isn't really us, as they start to really get to see the real you, that could be a real turn off as well, couldn't it? So you just want to be you from the outset, have a laugh, feel relaxed, and but absolutely just wear what you feel really comfortable in, but make it the smarter version.
Upgrade yourself.
Yeah.
That's
Yes,
it.
absolutely. Yes. Yes.
You've touched on accessories, and I advise all my clients on this all the time to have accessories, because what they are talking points and conversation starters.
Yes.
Women wear lots more jewelry than guys normally. So women might wear rings, they might wear earrings, or maybe a necklace, and guys often can do this with watches instead. And what
Yes.
they are conversation starters. So, guys, if you've got a lady opposite you and she's got lots of rings on, then don't be afraid just to ask her what the story is behind the rings. Ask her where it came from. Maybe it's a family heirloom. Maybe somebody gave it to her. She wears it for a reason. She wears it every day because she wants to be noticed and wears it to remind her of something good. So, ask her about it. And if she hasn't got rings on, look at her watch, look at her necklace or earring. Say something nice. It's just a nice compliment that you're paying that's not directly about her, but about her style. And ladies, again, look at the guy's watch. I'm not sure if I said this before in another podcast, but it's so important I'm going to repeat it anyway if I haven't done, because I tell all my clients this. Guys wear watches for a reason. If they are somebody that does well in business or wants to be seen as successful and powerful, they've probably got a really, really smart watch on. Maybe they've got a Rolex, something nice like that, and they want you to notice it. Or if they're really sporty, maybe they're wearing an Apple Watch or a Fitbit or a Samsung watch, and that shows they take their health seriously. And all you're doing is asking them what's the story behind the watch, or saying, I really like your watch, that's really cool. And they're going to notice that and think, well, do you know what? She's paid attention there, or he's paid attention, and it's going to carry on the conversation. Any other tips on accessories?
I would say for the gentleman, if it looks, on the time that you're going out for your date, if it looks like it's going to rain, then I would have an umbrella with you, Because if you have to escort, the other party to, a taxi rank or somewhere like that.
If they vomited over the table, yes.
Yeah, can use it for protect yourself. But I think that's just a really nice, gentlemanly thing to do.
It is. It's a good thing to have. It's handy just in case.
Yeah.
And women have handbags as well. And don't put your handbag on the table, on a chair, as a barrier between the two of you. It's not a defense mechanism. It's not a weapon to fend them off when you're sitting down. So put it away to the side, put it on the floor, hang it on a little hook somewhere out of the way. Don't do that. And while I'm on the subject, put your phone away too.
Oh my goodness. Don't even go down that road. Yes.
Yeah.
It's awful.
People have a phone, it's an extension of them. And putting it away can feel very, very strange to do that. But why have you got the phone out? If you're checking it all the time, or even seeing what the time is, or seeing what's going on, it's so rude. You're not making the other person feel special. Put the phone away. Put it on vibrate so it doesn't ring. Put it in your handbag. Guys, put it in your pocket. Put it away, out of sight, out of mind. The only person you should be talking to and focusing on is the person sitting opposite you.
Yes.
So we know what women should wear. Any tips for guys that are listening, what they should wear? What's the ideal first date outfit? I've got my own opinion on this, but I'd like to hear yours, Jo.
Oh, no, that's really difficult. I don't work with men.
Shall I answer the question then myself?
Go on then, James. Tell me, what should the man wear on the first date?
Then you can rip it apart for me afterwards about that. Many guys come to me and they show me pictures of themselves on a first date, on first date outfits, and they've got t-shirts on and they've got trainers on. They're not going to the gym. They're not going for a walk. You need to wear something that you feel really good in, you look successful and you look attractive in. I think a nice smart pair of jeans, a dark pair of smart jeans, will look good on most people.
Yeah.
It's not hard to get hold of. They're very easy to get hold of. Find a pair of jeans that fits you. So nothing that's too low, nothing that's too high. No skinny jeans if you can't carry that off. Wear some smart. The smarter they are means the darker they probably are. So you can wear black jeans, maybe wear silver jeans, grey jeans, but blue ones, indigo colours are really, really nice. And with that, go for maybe a white shirt. A long white shirt, because white shirts go with anything. And on top of the white shirt, depending on the weather, wear a smart blazer or a jacket, something nice on top of that. Do take it off. Don't wear it all night long if you're sitting somewhere warm, just to look smart. But it makes you look successful and makes you look like you're someone that has a bit of style. And I always advise that. And maybe have an accessory of a watch or a little badge on, or even a charity. Charities give away these little badges at checkout aisles for maybe £1 or £2, little metal things. Put them on. It's a talking point. It shows that you support a charity and it just gets them smiling. What are your thoughts on those then, Jo?
No.
No. Okay, go for it.
I would say, love the dark jeans. And if you've got a dark jean, excuse me, then wear a dark shoe. And I think that looks much smarter. But sometimes though, I love the look you're talking about. I really love that look. But I think sometimes if you're a guy that wears that sort of, that's like your workwear and you tend to wear a white shirt all the time, then go for a nice smart shirt. You can there are some really super, if you like print and, go for a printed shirt. Don't have to, I would say don't always go for the plain white because that can look, yes, it can look very smart, but it can also sometimes look a bit boring. If it's not for the guy, if you've got the guy who's a bit fun, and he might like a flower print shirt or he might like loud colours, wear it. If you feel that you can't actually put your whole personality on show on your first date, as I say in the fun factor, then I'd say to the gentleman, choose a pair of real fun socks to wear because it's still got your little bit of edgy personality, but it's not on show, but it's still a part of you that is there.
That's a good idea. Something a bit fun makes them feel more relaxed by having some sparkly socks or some sort of on there, or Father Christmas, whoever it might be, something a bit fun. Takes it away. No, I agree with you about the shirts. I have got all sorts of different colours: shiny shirts, purple shirts, pink shirts, other things. But a lot of people feel uncomfortable wearing them to start with because they're used to wearing just white or blue. But you're absolutely right.
That's why it's so important, though, to to really be about being authentic to yourself. And it almost goes back to the beginning of the conversation about dress who you are and and to, as you said, the word you chose was upgrade. But absolutely, so stick with who you are, because if you go to work and you have to wear that uniform to work, that's really not you, because that is your uniform, that's your work uniform. So here we're talking about, what do you absolutely love? What is your I love the expression, what's your inner sunshine? What really makes you smile? And that's the sort of clothing that you want to wrap yourself up in, so that you feel really good about yourself.
I completely agree, but please no sportswear.
Yeah.
Don't wear tracksuit bottoms, trainers,
No,
and
no.
nothing like that at all. Nothing, because
No,
even if you've got an amazing
that's your lounge comfies, isn't it? We don't want
it is.
lounge comfies going on.
You can save that for another time, but not on
Yes.
the first or second or maybe even 10th date.
Yeah.
Brilliant advice there, Jay. Thank you. Now, we touched briefly on grooming as well, about what to do, because
Yeah.
women are pretty much fixed on this. Women have got their grooming routines. They will do their toners, their moisturisers, their all the different 101 creams. I have to buy my wife about 20 creams each month. Day cream, night cream, afternoon cream, whatever it might be. And guys, just choose one good moisturiser you're going to wear. Maybe one that's got some sort of sun protection into it. And
Yeah.
but I think grooming is really important. But guys, all you've got to do is have a shave and a shower. Make sure that you're going to look good and take the effort to do that. Don't go straight after work on a date if you're a bit sweaty. Go and have a shower somewhere.
Absolutely.
Maybe
Yeah.
find a local gym if you can go and have a little shower in there if you have to.
But also, talk about grooming, you want to smell nice too, don't you?
This is my next question. So you're
Oh,
straight in there.
fantastic.
Brilliant, yes. I think you've got to smell. Smell is also a great way of expressing your personality. So I'll let you
Definitely.
talk about this then, Joe.
Yeah, no, scent, absolutely. Perfume, aftershaves, so many obviously choices out there. But again, what's your personality? Are you a soft and delicate lady? In which case, then you might like the scent of, flowers, flowery scents. If you're sort of more of a casual wear lady, you might like the more spicier scent, more lemony. And the same with men as well. You've got your spices, you've got your sandalwoods, you've got your soft, earthy smells. So wear something again that matches your personality. But I'm just going to talk about ladies for a second, because ladies are very good at overdoing the perfume, and it can be a real turn off. So I've got some little tips on how to wear your perfume. So the one thing that you should do is to layer up your fragrance, because that makes it last so much longer, but it also gives it a much more of a gentler scent. So it's much more pleasing to the other person you're seeing. And before you leave, if you spray up in the air and then you walk underneath it, and it just gives you a very, a light veil of perfume, which works wonders. The other place to spray would be actually into your cleavage, but don't spray your wrists, and do not rub your wrists together if you're putting the fragrance there, because that totally distorts the fragrance, because all it does, it burns the alcohol, and therefore you lose the scent of what the fragrance really is.
I had no idea. I was told to do that. I was told to put it on your wrist, aftershave, not my perfume.
Yeah.
Rub the wrist together, put it on the pulse points. That's what I was told.
Yeah, don't rub together.
So there you go. Don't rub your cleavage. Don't don't rub your hands together, whatever it might be. And yeah, that's good. I didn't know that, so I've learned something.
Yeah.
That'll be a nice soundbite when I record this onto the the soundbite channel. Scent is very, very important. And one thing, guys who are looking to choose a signature scent, choose something that's pretty mainstream. Don't make the mistake that people have made before, where you go and choose something that's a one-off or something that's specially made, and you start to wear it, really like it, and then you find it's been discontinued. That happened to me a long time ago when I was single. I had a really wonderful scent made by Ralph Lauren, and then suddenly they stopped making it, and you can't get it. I had to import it from America for about a year, and it ended. So no, that's something to keep in mind. Use something that's pretty mainstream, so you can go out and buy it. And if you haven't got any on you can nip into Boots or John Lewis, have a little spray on your wrists, but don't rub them together. Don't do that. So, of all these wonderful tips you've been giving us here, Jay, what sort of mistakes have you seen people make when it comes to their image and their style?
Gosh, where do you start with that one? It's really because the mistakes are made because people don't understand what they're, who they are and what their body shape is. So, they will put themselves in things that they think are fashionable, and they could be on trend or they could be fashionable, but it doesn't necessarily work for everybody. And that's why it really is about learning what your shape is and to understand how to dress it so that it absolutely works for you. And that's why I said in the very beginning, no, I'm not about fashion. It's about you and you as an individual.
Absolutely agree. Thank you, Jay. I've seen many style disasters in my time, particularly with guys. But this episode's very short, and we've run out of time to tell you all my wonderful stories about that, about all the guys that have turned up in their strange branded T-shirts and all the rest of it. And I have to tell them off, even coming to formal events wearing T-shirts and trainers, and having to turn them away. But people will always make a mistake. You're always going to learn from it, and just be the new version of you.
Definitely.
Wonderful. I'm going to give my listeners 6 top tips I put together. Now, we've already covered quite a few of these, but I wanted to summarise them because I like to do this. And afterwards, Joe, I'd like you to give your thoughts on them, please.
Okay.
So I'm just going to summarise them.
Listening.
I bet you are. Wonderful. So number 1 is to embrace your personal style. Once you learn what you look good in, you'll be able to wear clothes that express your personality. If you dress attractively and accessorise well, you'll naturally start to feel more comfortable and attractive. Don't be afraid to ask for advice if you need to. If you want to make better choices or unsure what suits you. And I think red for women is a very good choice. It's the colour that most men find attractive. It brings things like passion. I'm going to come on to point 2 for this. Lipstick. If you can, do wear lipstick. One of the first things that men notice about a woman is their mouth. So always wear a good lipstick. Red is the best choice as it subconsciously reflects blood vessels which are during arousal. Number 3, be comfortable in your own skin. Before you want others to find you attractive, you have to genuinely believe that you are too. So try to be the best possible version of yourself, as we discussed before. Accept your flaws, and confidence will start to come much more naturally. Don't be somebody else just to please other people. Number 4, stand tall. Attractive people own the space they are in. Others might curl up so not to be noticed. Expansive, expressive poses work best if you want to get noticed. It demonstrates confidence and sex appeal. So animation, like we said. Number 5, personal shoppers. Now, personal shoppers are trained professionals who can help you make the right clothes choice. And the good news is they're not particularly expensive. Many high street places have got these available for you to book, and you're no obligation to buy anything, and they could be invaluable. Or if not, Joe is an excellent person you can hire to do the same thing, and I highly recommend her for this service. If not, ask a friend of the opposite sex. They can go out with you. And number 6, don't forget nice underwear too. We mentioned socks before, but once the clothes comes off, you don't want to have the situation where you're wearing boxer shorts with holes in them or underwear that's 5 sizes too big, granny pants. So thank you for that. Joe, what are your thoughts on my 6 top tips there?
I love your 6 top tips. I think they're brilliant. Absolutely. And you talking about the color red. Absolutely. There's you can go a whole different level on that, because it's the what do they call it? Was it the pseudo effect, I think? Because red is absolutely the color for sexy, for being charming, for being passionate, arousal, all the things that you said, and definitely agree with it.
Brilliant. I'm glad to hear that. You didn't pull them all apart, so that's wonderful.
No.
I think we should do a podcast in the future based purely around colours and what they all mean. I think you'd be a great person to discuss to do that.
I love that.
We could do that together. I think my viewers and my listeners would love to hear that. So, Joe,
Fantastic.
Thank you so much for this. If any of my listeners want to get hold of you or need your help or want to find out more about you, how do they do that?
So go to my website, which is obviously all the W's, and then thepositiveimagecoach.co.uk. Or they can phone. I'm on Facebook under the same name, so they can message me however they want to. It's fine.
As easy as possible. You've made it very easy for them. Thank you very much, Joe. I'm sure many people will be in touch with you soon. And
thank you very much.
If you like what you've heard, if you've got any questions or anything you want us to cover again in a future podcast, just let me know. Drop me a message through my own website or let Joe know. We can cover them again. Joe, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm so glad we did this. It's been a good laugh and very, very informative too. Thank you very much for joining me.
You're so welcome. Thanks a lot, James. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you so much for listening. I'd love to give you a free copy of my latest book, which you can download right now from my website, jamespreece.com. If you enjoyed this podcast, I'd really appreciate it if you could share the love by taking a few seconds to write a positive review on the iTunes store right now. See you next time.